Hello, welcome back to my training room. This is Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is July 28, 2020. When I was 8.5, maybe 9 years old, I was almost abducted one time. I was heading out to go to have lunch with my parents. This was in Taiwan. My dad remembered that he left something in his office. So, because it was really, really hot, he didn't want me to wait inside the car. So he told me to stand by the car, so at least I would get some fresh air. And he said he would be right back. He went upstairs to get whatever file that he forgot. My mom had already went ahead to go tend to some other business. There I was, standing at the car, and this strange guy came up to me and he said, "Your dad told me to fetch you. Let's go." And he grabbed my wrist, tried to lead me away. Even at that age, I knew that he was not who he said he was, because I knew every worker, every person that worked for my dad by voice, even though I was totally blind. I knew every one of my dad's workers by voice. This person did not sound like anyone I knew. So I planted my feet. I wouldn't go with him. And he started to drag me, trying to pull me away with him. When I tried to push his hand off, he grabbed my other wrist. So now he had both of my wrists. And he just tried to walk away with me. At that time, I had just recently started learning martial arts. And without much thought on my part, since he had both of my wrists, I went toward him and I threw the only move I knew, the standard front snap kick, right into his groin. And then I remember that I didn't know what to do after that. Here was this strange guy who just tried to take me away, down on his knee, holding onto his groin, swearing very viciously, saying that he was going to get back up and do nasty things to punish me. I didn't know what to do with him. I mean, I was only 8 or 9 years old. Uh, should I kick him again? Should I try to run away? I was blind. I didn't know where to run. I might run into the street and get run over by a car. Luckily, that was when my father finally came out of the building. And as soon as the guy saw my dad approaching, he got back up and walked away. My dad didn't really know what was up with the guy, so he didn't pursue him. And my dad came over to me and asked me what happened. And I explained to him, but by then, the guy was already gone. That was the first time in my life that martial arts actually saved me from what could be some nasty consequences. But it also showed me that I didn't know enough. And it is with that in mind, today we are doing this advanced self-defense for women. But it's not just for women. This is useful for anybody. We're here to look at 9 ways to attack the groin. Of course, there's a lot more than 9 ways to attack someone between the legs, but 9 is a good number, so we'll go with that. Before we begin, it is important to lay down a little bit of basics. You see, a lot of people, basically anyone, knows about attacking the groin. The standard women's self-defense class, the standard kids self-defense class teach you if a man, especially a man, trying to accost you, trying to assault you, attack them between the legs and then run away. But as those of us in the self-defense circle often would tell you, quite often that fails. Quite often those attacks to the groin fail and end up getting people a lot more injured than they would have otherwise. Why do these techniques, supposedly time-tested, tried and true techniques, fail? It's not the techniques that fail, but how you employ them. Let me show you. Let's say big guy Bruce here trying to assault me, and then somehow can manage to get close enough, and then I throw in that kick to the groin, that knee to the groin that I've been taught in my self-defense class, which I probably only attended for less than a month before graduating. Right? Someone this big come in and try to grab me, and I bring my knee up. Would that work? No, because I don't know if you guys can even make it out on camera. I didn't even get him on the groin. In my panic, in my rush, I bring this knee up and I hit him on the side. That is definitely not going to work. Let's say I do get him on the groin. Let's say I get enough distance to actually get a kick in. Boom! Into the groin. And then what happened? It looked like I hit him square over the groin, but even in this case, a lot of people can still stand and fight and get really angry and tear me apart after this kick to the groin. The reason being, most people, unless you train regularly, cannot deliver a very solid, strong kick, especially if they have to be precise. And then, when you hit the groin from the front, it hurts, but it's not debilitating. The target you actually want to hit is from down to up. It's right between the leg, it's not from the front. You kick them from the front, most likely you just make them really, really, really mad. Probably mad enough to want to kill you. Another reason why most of these groin attacks fail is because there's no follow-up. A groin attack is not a end-all, be-all move. It is a move that is almost guaranteed to going to get you some reaction, during which, when you get that reaction, you want to be able to capitalize on it. If you just kick the person in the groin and then you stand back, well, now you just end up with a really angry person coming after you. But if you capitalize on that 1 second of shock, I kick him in the groin and come in right to the face and hit it right in the throat. I can end the fight right there and then, using that second or two where my kick to the groin put him into shock to deliver attacks that actually would count. After I kick him in the groin, I take out whatever self-defense tool I have and then be ready. The groin kick should never be the last finishing move. That's not what it's meant to do. It almost should never be the starting move. It almost never is the finishing move. Why shouldn't it be the starting move? Maybe not so much for me. I think most big guys that try to attack me would expect me to meet them man to man, fist to fist. I'm going to duke it out with them. But a predator that go after children and women, they expect you to do that growing kick. So they are ready for it. Which means if you try to do this, kick them in the groin, or you try to knee them in the groin, all they have to do is cross their leg, put their leg in the way, turn sideways, or put their hand in the way. It's very easy to block it when you expect it to come. So, rather than having it being your starting move, do something to distract them, and then do your shot to the groin, and then do your finishing move. The shot to the groin should be somewhere in the middle of your attack, not in the beginning, not in the end. But of course, if you watch Master Ken, always remember to re-stomp the groin afterwards. Now, with that said, what are some of the different ways of attacking the groin, and how are we going to put them to use in different attack scenarios? Let's look at the most obvious. Number one, the knee to the groin. The knee to the groin. Okay? When you knee to the groin, make sure that knee goes from bottom to up. Again, when you hit the groin, you need to have that bottom up angle to get the maximum amount of damage, maximum amount of pain. Um, I'm trying to keep this kid friendly, or as much as possible. But to quote one of my old sensei, you want to hit that area so hard that you want the target that you hit to travel through their abdominal cavity and come up into their throat. That's how hard you want to hit that area. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but you want to hit it like you mean it. And yes, if you hit a female that way, hurts a lot too. Doesn't hurt as much as a guy when a guy gets hit there, but it still hurts a lot. And not every attack is going to be the optimum down, up. Sometimes you just won't get that. But that's okay. Even if it's a forward, straight forward on, it's still going to get reaction. And reaction is what you are counting on. So, first, that knee to the groin. We talked about knee a couple of weeks ago. Draw your knee back and bring it out. Draw your knee back and bring it out. But if I just do it without preamble, most likely it's going to fail because, like I said, most predators are looking for that, right? And all they have to do is cross their leg, and your knee is going to fail to hit their groin. So rather than being so obvious about it, I'm going to do something to take their mind off of their lower region. Okay? And that is up to you, but it's very simple, very straightforward. A slap across the face will do the trick. Okay? before I do the knee to the groin, I'm going to slap them across the face, grab them, and knee going to the groin. Slap, grab, and go. Okay? If one hit to the groin is not enough, then we do two hits to the groin. Or three, or four. Okay? But open your dance with that slap to the face or punch to the face, something high up to take their attention away from something down below. Another thing to keep in mind, when you kick someone in the groin, most of the time, if you get a good hit in there, you got to watch for their head. Because if I hit someone in the groin, the most immediate reaction is to bend forward violently. Oh, like this. They bend forward, the head come forward. So if my face is in the way, when I kick him in the groin, he come forward, boom, headbutt right into my face. Yeah, I end up getting broken nose, broken cheekbone. So if I kick someone in the groin, I'm already stepping to the side or stepping away to prepare my follow-up attack. I'm not going to kick them in the groin, stay this close and get headbutted. Next, number two attack. Again, most of you seen this one. Kick with your foot. As I already described, you do not want to kick forward. You don't want to do a push kick. It worked for me when I was a kid, when I did it, because that was the only move I knew, and that was better than nothing. But if you want to do a proper groin kick, you want to travel from down to up, down to up, down to up, down to up. Right? Your goal is for your shin to smack into that soft target between the leg and drive that all the way up into their throat with your shin, not your foot. So in this case, how do I set up for it? Again, slap in the face will do it sometimes because that will take their attention off the lower region. Or what I'm going to do, uh, yes, I would do a low roundhouse kick to the side of their leg to take their attention off the front. I kick their leg and then right away my groin kick is coming out. Roundhouse groin, roundhouse groin, right? Just remember, always take their attention away from what you're about to do. Attack number three. What if the person is beside me? Is beside me like this, like he's standing to my left. Uh, do I want to try to do a karate side kick? Probably not. If the distance is this close, he's right at my elbow actually. So for me to throw that side kick, I need distance, so I need to shuffle away, which is not going to do much good if I'm telegraphing what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit him at an angle that he doesn't expect. Attack number three, the side stump kick. If he's on my left, rather than use my left foot to kick him in the groin, which doesn't really have the distance it requires for maximum damage, I'm going to use my right leg. I'm going to bring my right leg up and stomp across the body. I bring out my right knee and I stomp across into his groin. Alright, this is not an optimum hit. Just go from front to back. Just hit him from front. So we want to be ready to move. After I get this in there, I'm going to turn toward him and add a knee to the groin. So how do I set this up? If he's beside me, like right beside my elbow, obviously I can throw an elbow number 9 directly to the side and then stomp right into the groin and turn a knee into the groin. Quick, dirty, what we are looking for in self-defense. Attack number 4, the lifting foot groin kick. The lifting foot groin kick. Let's say the person is this close in front of me, really close, so I can't really get a good knee in there, and I don't have the distance for proper groin kick with my shin. In this case, I'm going to lift up my knee and then rotate my foot, so my right foot come in between us, right up the middle, right up between his legs. Boom! I'm hitting him with the side of the foot, on the inside of my foot, the side of my big toe is on. Okay, boom, down and up, right into the groin, and then when he reacts to it, add other groin attack. Again, this is because of most people not being very flexible. Most likely, this is not going to be a very devastating hit, but it's going to get a reaction if you get it right between the legs. Attack number 5. If the person is behind me, then of course we have the standard mule kick right into the groin. Mule kick is strong, powerful, but dangerous because again, most people when they are behind someone, they expect the person to kick back at their groin. I have people trying to do that to me before when we spar in Krav Maga. Every single time they try that, I just catch their kicking foot between my legs and trip him and bring them down. Okay, so be aware that the mule kick, while powerful, it's very obvious. How do we make it less obvious? Well, easy. Before I bring the mule kick up into his groin, I'm going to stomp on his foot and then mule kick him in the groin. I'm going to stomp on his toe and then the kick come up into the groin. Okay? I'm going to uh, reach my arm up, attack his eyes, and then mule kick in the groin. Again, you don't want to start with the groin kick. You want to start with something else. Attack number 6. The cup hand groin attack. This one is obvious. When I'm walking towards a target that is going to assault me, my hand travel from my own hip area forward and up, cupping the groin, cupping and ripping, cupping and ripping. Whatever I happen to grab with the cup in my hand, cupping in my claw, I'm going to rip it right off. Cup and rip, cup and rip. Again, very obvious move, so you have to set it up. And how is it easier to set this up? Is when the person is getting too close that I think I don't have time to put my hand up to defend myself. I'm going to keep my hand by my hip down at my side, very non-threatening. Okay? I'm going to have my palm forward, get ready for the move. The person coming at me, I'm going to shoulder check him and kick him in the shin, shoulder check him, stomp on his toe, take his attention off my hand, and then forward cup and rip. The cup hand groin attack. Number 7, the push hand groin attack. The push hand groin attack is used as a distraction. It's the only groin attack in our 9 groin attack series that is not meant to do a lot of damage. When a person is coming towards me, maybe grabbing me around the shoulder or throat, I'm going to drop my weight, both of my hands go in front of my own groin, like I'm blocking my own groin, the back of my hand toward his groin. I'm going to drop my weight and go forward and use my hand to throw the back of my hand into his groin. Okay, this is not going to hit that hard, but almost anyone is going to react to it when I keep hitting with the back of my hand and pushing forward, walking into him. The minute he ducks down to try to protect his groin, or the minute that he shifts his leg to protect his groin, I'm hitting. The minute he changed his stance, the minute that he put his hand down, boom, backhand right into the face, elbow right into the face, elbow right into the neck. Okay, the push hand groin attack is just there for me to set up my powerful high attack to the face, to the throat, to the neck. Attack number 8, the whip hand groin attack. This one's actually my favorite, and it's worked very, very well. Doesn't hardly take any setup time at all. Again, if I'm standing here nice and casual, my hands down by my side, and some big guy walks toward me and tries to scare me to death, try to intimidate me, I hope you guys can see this. This is how fast it will go down. All I do is twist my shoulder, pull my shoulder back, and swing my arm forward, keeping my arm low and center, whipping my arm right into his groin from this distance. Okay? So the person comes towards me, my arms already swinging free at my side, my arms already loose, my arms down. I don't have time to put my hands up, or for some reason, I don't want to put my hands up to give him a warning. So he come and walking towards me, I swing right into the groin, whipping my forearm right into the groin. And of course, after I whip this arm into the groin, I bring the same arch back with a hammer fist to the neck. Whip hammer fist, whip hammer fist, whip hammer fist. That's groin neck, groin neck, groin neck. That's all one arm. Last but not least, sorry, Mandarin Chinese accent coming through. List, whatever. What the heck? It's late, it's hot, so excuse me. Last but not least, the hammer hand groin attack. What is the hammer hand groin attack? Well, obviously we're using a hammer fist, but how can we do this? If the person is coming at me head on, then this requires me to set it up. If the person is behind me, then of course I just whip my hand back, hammer fist right into the groin. That's very simple. But what if it's a direct forward confrontation? How do I employ this? Well, it's not that difficult either. So, if the person is fighting me and I need to get the hammer groin attack in there, but I don't have time to turn to have I don't want to turn to have my back toward him. That would be silly. So I'm going to build it off of my cross or my hook. So let's say I throw out a left jab or or a cross or a hook that allow me to turn my body slowly. My arm continues on its arc down, hammer fist into the groin. Punch down, punch down, punch down. It's a circular motion. Punch groin. Punch to the head, hit to the groin. Punch to the head, hammer fist to the groin. Punch to the head, hammer fist to the groin. Other hand come in, punch to the head, hammer fist to the groin. That is the hammer hand groin attack. So, quick recap. We have the knee to the groin. We have the shin to the groin. We have the side stomp into the groin. We have the lifting foot into the groin. We have the mule kick back toward the groin. We have the push hand to distract. We have the cup hand, cup, rip, cup, grab, and rip. We have the whip hand, one of the quickest, hardest to detect groin attack, the whip hand. And then we have the hammer hand, punch, hammer to the groin. Please do not practice these on your favorite cousin or your best friend. Getting hit in the groin does not promote forgiveness. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night, stay safe.